release it. I'm gonna log into the share my screen. AirPlay, sure. Okay, some people say they need a multiple choice for 2019, maybe. I don't know if I'm gonna see if I can release it. I think Priya, you say you can see the answers, right? Or no?
I could see my score, but I'll check if I can see the right answer for
Yeah,
MCQ.
I don't know how my AP classroom works. Let me see if I can figure out. Give me a second. Instructional AP course exam, AP classroom. Because since the thing is secure, I don't think they will tell you the answers, but I can tell you from here, which is I don't really care.
Yeah, it only gives you if you got it right or wrong, and it says it's secure, so you don't have access to question details.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But I'll see if let me see if I can see it. Trend. Okay, Trend, you know your score, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so your score is not bad. You miss 6. So let's see. They don't tell you which question is. They tell you you mess up justification, continuity, and differentiable. Process of separation variables. Justification, solution, differential equation. You seems I missed on in the differential equation in particular. Justification candidate tests, and justification intermediate value theorem, and justification continuity of points. So your mistakes are pretty consistent. Let me see if I can. I don't think I can release to you, but I can tell you maybe which question we can go over. Let's see if we can do that. So give me a second. I accidentally closed it. Give me a second. My AP College Board, my AP Classroom. Give me a second. Let me do that again. Yeah, since this is a secure exam, I don't think they will give it to you, the answers, but let me go through this part. FRQ 6, 7 score, 7 score. I can, yeah, FRQ. Hold on a second, let me see if there's any other way to do it. Scoring sheet, maybe? Nope, it doesn't. Yeah, I can go in that person's test and I can look at it. Give me a second, see if I can do that. MCQ 4, AB MCQ. Taha is working on it. Priya. Let me see if I can go in Priya's test. Priya, is okay if I go into your test?
That's fine.
Okay, I go in your test, but they don't tell me whether you did right or wrong. Yeah, they don't tell me which question you did right or wrong, which is they just give you a score. And they do that for a reason. They do that just, people don't um, they don't want people to know the right answers. It's okay if we go over the FRQ first. So because I say we're gonna focus on FRQ first, MCQ we're gonna do that in a second. As soon as I figure out where to, they don't tell me which question you did wrong. They can tell you which skill you missed the question, but they don't tell you which question you did wrong, that's kind of clever, because since this is a secure exam. It's okay we go to FRQ first. We can go back to MCQ.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So what we're gonna do is gonna go through all the FRQ here. Like I said yesterday, there are certain type of question that will show, and we're gonna go back and look at that Word file. Give me a second. The Word file is gonna look like this. Okay, so mainly it's a fundamental theorem calculus, differential equation. One kind of talk about couple before. We didn't talk about slope field because that's pretty easy. Differential equation, I asked you guys to practice a couple times. I think Dong asked me about over approximation or under approximation, right, Dong? Dong, can I hear you? I don't know what you mean by which type of over approximation or which type of under approximation. Are you talking about functions increasing, decreasing, or are you talking about tangent line?
A tangent line.
Okay, so can you guys see my face or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically a tangent line. So this is just imagine my Apple Pencil is a tangent line, and if it's a concave down, so my tangent line is above, so it's always approximation over approximation. So really depend on your second derivative is positive or negative. If second derivative is negative, is concave down, your tangent line approximation is going to be over. And if you have a tangent line approximation, it's concave up, then my tangent line is going to be under approximation. It's under, yeah, it's a underestimate. Does that make sense, Dong?
Yeah.
So it really depends on when you have to justify using second derivative. So you have to take a second derivative, and sometimes it require you, they give you a first derivative, right? And after you take a second derivative, you had to plug in the first derivative, which is that potato question. But if you have a question on that, we'll go through that. Okay. So, and yes, so we spent some time to talk about motion. Motion recently, they do have a two particle questions. We can get into that. This particle A and particle B. You had to do like, I don't know, depend on the question worded. Net rate is going to be in rate minus out rate, like a velocity. So we didn't do anything like this yesterday, but we will. We probably can find one from the thing. Area and volume. We got a very difficult one from yesterday, from the 2019 exam. At least that's the international exam. On a non-international exam, it's not that difficult. Then we got right and Riemann sum, left n, midpoint, equal interval, and trapezoid rule. This one, on MCQ, you had to pay attention to. This one has things about over approximation or under approximation also. So overestimate. Okay. If you have right Riemann sum, right Riemann sum, and if the function is increasing, okay. It's a function, if it's decreasing, then your right Riemann sum is gonna be under approximation. So underestimate if you have functions decreasing. If you have functions decreasing and use the right Riemann sum. Does that make sense?
Can you like draw it out?
Yeah, I'll draw it out. So that one, I want to talk about it because sometimes you guys have to understand that justification goes. So maybe draw out is better. Those are the things that you have to be able to justify. So let me draw it out. Where's my zoom? Okay. Let me share my screen. So AirPlay, yeah. So if I have a function that this one is not increasing or decreasing, but if I have a function that it's increasing, right? Then I'll just do two rectangles, right? And if I use a right n, that's gonna be over. Does that make sense? So let's write down, maybe we do a table instead. So if it's a function increasing, right? Right n is gonna be over, and left n is gonna be under. Because left n is gonna be like this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now if function is decreasing, if the right n is going to be what? It's going to be over or under. So function is decreasing. Let's say it's decreasing like this. If I use right n, is that over or under?
Under.
Under. Yeah, because you draw it based on the right side of points. Do you know how to draw it? The mainly is drawing. It's not memorization. It's drawing, right? And if you have left n, so right n is going to be under, right? And left n is going to be over. Okay. Does that make sense? So it really depends on your drawing. But then there's one thing that's kind of hard to tell is the trapezoid rule. If you have a trapezoid rule, it's not based on the function increasing or decreasing, because that doesn't tell you whether they're over or under. So what's dictate that? If it's a trapezoid rule, so this is a left n and right n, right? Left and right. And if it's trapezoid, what will happen?
Concavity.
Right. Why is concavity? Because the way you draw it too. So basically, you just have to learn how to draw. Look at this function, it's concave up, right? Is this over or under approximation? If I do one trapezoid, not even do like two, we just do one. Is that over or under?
Over.
Because you draw it like this, right? It's going to be over. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You can have this concave down, then it will be under. So this is over, this is under, right? It's because you concave up, and this is concave down. And that's how you justify for trapezoid. For left and right end, you look at increasing, decreasing. For trapezoid, you look at if it's concave up or concave down. And basically, you can understand by learning how to draw has nothing to do with math. Hopefully that helped you, because Dong asked me yesterday, and I saw on the chat, and I didn't know which one he's indicating, but there was two situations they will ask you, over approximation or under approximation. One is tangent line approximation. One is Riemann sum. Riemann sum is left end, right? You just draw it from the left side first. Then it really depends on your functions increasing or decreasing. But if it's trapezoid, it's different. The trapezoid really tells you it's a concavity, right? I could have decreasing too. Some people is going to say, well, what if I have decreasing and concave down? Well, just imagine if I have decreasing and concave down, it's going to be like this, right? Oh, that's concave up. I'm an idiot. Decreasing concave down is going to be like this, right? But if you draw it like this, it's still going to be under, just like same thing as this. Does that make sense? And increasing and concave, decreasing and concave up, it's going to be like this. It's still same like the other one. So it really depends on how you draw it. So once you know how to draw it, you understand how to do this. So those are things that you have to pay attention to.
What about midpoint?
Midpoint is actually the best approximation. I think midpoint is really hard to tell. There's no set of rules over or under. I remember there was one multiple choice question. You have to use a midpoint, and that one they give you 0.5. The reason why, if the function is increasing, right, midpoint is the best, or function is decreasing, the midpoint is the best, because that's the averages both. Does that make sense? So if you have something that say something that is going down like this, right, and let's draw two rectangle, and I'm going to use the midpoint, so which is like this. The midpoint's like this, and you see one area fit into the other one, so it's actually the most accurate. I think midpoint is, if it's strictly increasing or strictly decreasing, midpoint is the best approximation, but we cannot tell whether they're over or under, but it's the best. And the integral just exactly area under the curve, so that is probably the most accurate one. Integral just the best of the best. It's exact. So that's why a lot of multiple choice is based on this, and sometimes FRQ is based on, say, so justify. Then what do you do? Justify. If it's left and right end, just say its function is increasing, decreasing. If it's trapezoid, then you say, well, it's concave up, concave down. And they're not going to ask you midpoint, ask you justify, because midpoint's the best approximations. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Is there any like specific like Riemann that's like the least best, or it just depends on the function?
It really depends on the function, because it's not necessary, you know, if it's a horizontal line, it doesn't matter which one you use, right? If it's y equal to 2, it didn't matter if you use right end or left end. So rewritten cannot dictate what happened. But if the function is going up, right, then the right end's definitely the over. Left end is going to be under. The middle is going to be the best.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so that's the approximation goes. Dong, did I answer all your question? Because you asked me overestimate or underestimate. I'm like, what the heck is it? But
Yeah.
I kind of got everything kind of summarized for you. Okay. Then let's go look at a FRQ and let's see is anything we can add it to the Word file that we just created. So I'm gonna do that. We're gonna start with the first one. The first one here, and you guys want to do it together, we can do it together. But I know most of you guys are already done. So the first question is a calculated questions. And I know we're gonna do that. Okay. Okay. So and let's talk about how to use calculator more efficiently as well. So I'm gonna show you my calculator screen, but it's gonna be on Twitch, and you guys should know my Twitch account or YouTube or whatever. But Twitch you can comment, so you can. It's easier for you to talk about things. Sorry, let me share the thing first. Let me open up the calculator first. And we're gonna talk about how we use calculator more efficient as well. So sometimes you can do save you time while you're doing something. Even like you might already know how to do it, but learn how to do things more efficient. It's also you increase your productivity. So that's what I'm gonna do, is to go through each one and see how can we do it more efficiently. If not, then if you didn't learn anything new, just say I already know that. So that's okay. I'm gonna share my screen, iPad. Yes. Oh shoot! I did not share my. Give me a second. I did not share the thing. TI calculator. There we go. I share on this side so I can see it. Let me close this. Good. Okay. So I'm gonna share my screen now. If you see on Twitch, you should be able to see my calculator, or iPad as on my calculator. So we're gonna go to the actual questions, and you guys can tell me what to do, because I'm gonna be more interactive. That you guys ask me questions, and I'm asking you a question instead of just one direction learning. Share. Okay, so this is a question that show up on the FRQ. You guys should be able to see it from Twitch or from whatever. Oh, let me close this. There we go. Okay, so the rate of the car entering the parking lot. So what kind of question does immediately you can tell?
Net rate.
Net rate, okay. And they said rate of change of E of t. Now what are you supposed to do here? And if you guys have a calculator, take it out. So we can do this together. What are you supposed to do? Beth, if you see this question, what are you supposed to do?
Is it supposed to be like n minus out?
You want to read the question to decide? So the rate of the car entering the parking lot model e to t 30 plus 5 to the t minus 2t minus 5 e to the negative 0.2t. The rate at which car leaving the lot is a function L. So the L is determined by a table. So you guys need to understand FRQ has two type of question can give it to you. Three type of format. One is equation, one's table, one's graph. Now they give you both. They give you a table and they give you equations. But they can give you graph also, so it really depends on what the question is. Both E to T, L, T are measured car per hour, and the time T measured in hours after 5 a.m. T equal to 0. Both function is defined by 0 to 12. 0 to 12 is the domain, and when using the calculator, you have to focus on 0 to 12, and that's the best. And they say, oh, they say 5 a.m. T equal to 0. So 5 a.m. counts as 0. So it's 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. pretty much. This is probably talking about working hours for parking lots. Okay, so Tynese, what would you do here?
Wait, we're on part B.
Part A.
Oh, part A. Isn't it just average rate?
No, they did not say average rate. And they did not say average rate. They say rate of change. So what's the difference between average rate and rate of change? So remember, this did not say average rate of change. This say rate of change. Rate of change is not average rate. Rate of change is called instantaneous. So there was two types, right? Instantaneous rate of change. So this is actually instantaneous rate of change. They didn't address that. But when they say rate of change, that means what, right? And there's average rate of change. So you have to know both. If they did not say average, that means that's not average rate of change. That just means instantaneous rate of change. Or they might say rate of change, but if they give you a table, that's also imply of average rate of change. So which is kind of confusing. Since they give you an equation, that's not what they're asking. And average rate of change, there was two values, right? There was a B and A, so there was two time changes. Now they say T equal to 7, that reaffirm that's instantaneous. It's not average. So really good thing that you point that out, because that if you didn't point it out, then no one would know the difference. So anybody will put a better suggestion here. Whatever suggestion you had before is good, but I need it even better than this one.
Take derivative of that and plug in 7.
Yeah, so this is instantaneous rate. Why? Instantaneous rate, you can tell from the time as well. The time is only in single period time, so it's only T equal to 7. So that means it has to be especially equation, right? Now, if it's a LT, then may be different. LT is gonna be, is T equal to 7, then you have to average tables. You have to do L of 9 minus L of 5 over 9 minus 5. Since they go in with E to T, that means they just want you to take a derivative. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the equation and then just plug in the function. So 30 plus 5 times 5 times t x minus 2. So I don't care about that. I'll just care about x x minus 5. Oops, I really mess up. X minus 5 and times second e to the negative 0.2x. Okay, so now with this, you want to take a derivative. So there was two ways to do it. So for me, I can do a second calc here and just do the derivative of 6. And when x equal to 7. So that's going to be 6.16. Do you see how I did that, or somebody needed me to repeat it? E prime of 7, that's equal to 6.1649. So it's roughly 6 car per hour, 6.149. Sorry, 6.165 car per hour square. Why is hour square? Because this is a taken derivative of the rate. Because that was a rate. How many of you guys are confused here? This is just a plug-in Chuck. Are we okay here? First one.
Mr. Ye, could we also put cars per hour?
You can, of course. Per hour square, just the same thing as per hour. I think per hour just sounds like weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like in physics, there's nobody really say that. In like chemistry, nobody says that. But I don't know why math is gonna be awkward like that. Per hour. That's stupid. But per hour square, they will take that, of course. Now, second one, say how many cars enter the parking lot. So there's a rate in and there's a rate out, right? So this is a this E is, I think E is enter in, and how many car or the rate the car leaving of L. So do we do integration on which one? What are you supposed to do here? Anybody? How many cars?
Aren't you supposed to take the integral of E of t from 0 to 12?
And look, you just have to write it down. And if you don't know how to use a calculator, just write that down. You get a point. And if you know how to use a calculator, then it's going to be 520.070. And the best thing is I will do it outside now. You can do it here. You can do it here, and we can try both. So we're going to do second calc, and we can do 7. And they say low limit, they just type in 0 and 12. And they will even shade it for you to ask you what's going on. So that's equal to 520. So I can do it here, or I can do it outside screen. So I can do it here too. So if I do it outside, then it's gonna be math 9 and between 0 to 12. And the way you do that, it's gonna be, sorry, this one's gonna be 0, 0. I don't know if they can do 0, 0. 12, and then bar function, y function, bar function, y1 dx. Okay, so that's how you approach it. So 520. And this is gonna be cars. There's no thing, there's nothing else. And it's gonna say, you know, between 0 to 12. So this is gonna give you +1, this is gonna give you +2. Okay, C. Let's say use trapezoid, the sum, approximate using correct unit, justify. So between 2 to 12, that's what it is. This one just a trapezoid rule. So trapezoid, this is an equal interval, so you have to know this is 3, this is 4, this is 2, and this is 1. So it'll be average of 15 plus 40. So 15. So I will write down. So some people say they don't want to write down this. Write it down. It's not gonna spend like 5 seconds to write it down. It's really not that bad. The first interval is gonna be 3 times 15 plus 40. So 15 plus 40 over 2, and then plus 4 times 40 plus 24 over 2 plus 24 plus 68 and plus 2 plus 1, 68 plus 18 over 2. Now strategy goes do not waste time to get an answer here. Do it when you have time. Okay, because you already show all the work, and you're gonna come back to finish the calculation, plug in the calculator, and when you have time, because this is you want to set them all up, come back to earn that last point. Yeah. Now explanation, you can do explanation first. You can say use this is how many cars leaving, right? 345.5 between, so 345.5 car leaving between 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Do you guys know why 7 a.m. to 5 p.m.?
Because it starts at 5 a.m.
And the integration didn't start until 2, so 5 plus 2 is 7. And 5 a.m. is 0, and 5 a.m. is 12, just like what Trent says, right? And that's it. You earn 3 points here.
For C, would you just leave it as a decimal for like the context, or as a whole number of like cars?
Honestly, nobody gives a shit. I don't. I mean, I don't know. I'll always leave exact number, and they can round it themselves. You can say there's no half car or whatever, but I don't know the justification of math on this part. They shouldn't give you like a something like that, but the scoring guideline didn't address that. It just said 345.5.
Okay.
And they just say that's a number of cars leaving between 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Okay. Does that make sense?
Wait, Mr. If you put like between time t equal to 2, would they still give point? Like t equal to 2 to t equal to 12?
They did say that on parentheses. So according to scoring guideline, they say 7 a.m. t equal to 2 and 5 p.m. t equal to 12. So I think they will give you a point. Yeah. I mean, that's the scoring guideline, not me talking. I have no idea. Honestly, I think I would give student credits. But that's me. And I'm a strict grader, so I don't think that's a big deal. But I think that's relevant though in terms of context, right? In terms of realistic life, you cannot just tell them 2. They're gonna say 2 is what, and 12 means like 12 p.m. So yeah, you can write down both just in case. For me, I'll write down the actual time. Okay, so let's read the last one. Between 0 to 6, $5 are collected from each car entering. So they collect $5 from each car that entering between that, and $8 collected between each car. And this is actual realistic in life. It's actually a certain time they have a different period, different cost. So basically just a 5 times e of t dt, 0 to 6, plus 8 times 6 to 12 e to the t dt, and then 3530.1396. So this one I will do it outside screen. So I will do here because that's probably the best, because I cannot do it on graphing. Graphing is based on certain thing. You cannot multiply by 5. So I will do 5 math 9 here, and between 0 to 6. And I really need for you guys to use that bar. The bar is really helpful. And the dx, and you can plus 8 times math integral here 9, and from 6 to 12. And I can use a var again. Now for area and volume, I actually use R on area and volumes. That's for sure, because it will be so much easier. You just have to make sure your function type in right. So this one 35330. So that would be 35 $130 collected. T to 0 to t equal to 12. Now, for me, I will rewrite this question. No, I won't rewrite this question. But I will find out. If for me, I don't like the table one for this one. I will actually give you functions, right? I will give you maybe a sine function, a cosine function. I will ask you when is a parking lot has the maximum amount of cars. Okay, so that is something I would ask. So if I were to ask you, says, if I want to find out the maximum of cars, how would I do that? And that just says, let's graph this function first, and we can maybe name a graph here. Okay, so that's that type of graph. Okay, so we can build like, we can say another leaving function, maybe a like we can say another function that is leaving away, and maybe we're gonna say something easy. Let's just say 5x. I think. Hold on. Let me see if it will work. If I say I want to find out which time the parking lot is gonna reach maybe the maximum, right? Let me see the window here. It's 30. So let's just say if my rate is 10x, right? So how would I do it? My rate of cars leaving. Or you know what? Better yet, I'm just give a new question. Let's find a question that with a maximum rate. Let's just maybe pull out the last minute one. So maybe this question's here. Okay, let's say answer C on this one. And that's the most common one to ask, intermittent rate. At what time is the amount of water pipe at a minimum justify your answer? So I want you guys all try this one. It's 2015. I'll go bathroom. I'll be right back. How many of you guys, this is the most common question to ask. For part C in this part. It's almost every single test that they ask that. How many of you guys are finished? Well, let me ask, how many of you guys don't know how to start? Oh, sorry, Chris. I answered the same question for you as for Trent. So I think you guys had the same question. But how do I answer part C? Do you guys know how to do it? How many of you guys don't know how to do it? Let's start that way. Shafa, do you know how to do it?
I'm attempting. I don't think so, but could I have like another minute?
Yep. Andrea, do you know what to do?
I'm just thinking of something, cause like minimum, isn't that like a derivative thingy?
So that means a lot of you guys still don't understand, but that's okay. That's why you guys gotta talk to me, because I don't know. Bath, do you understand how to do?
No, but I'm just like Andrea, I'm just assuming he has to deal with derivative, because for derivative, like, you can check when it's increasing or decreasing, and it's talking about a minimum.
You gotta be careful the net rate question, so that means there's a lot of you guys still understand. Lucia?
I'm trying to figure it out.
Okay. So this is a good question to talk about then.
You said net rate. So this one is this the one with the integral then?
Well, we're gonna see.
Would you like find the derivative of r of t minus d of t or something like that?
Pay attention to the wording. Priya, do you know what to do?
It says amount of water in the pipe, so I'm guessing integral, but integral at the point where the water is minimum.
So the first thing you have to solve is at what time. Okay, at what time? Okay. Trent, do you know what to do?
I think I got it.
Okay. You can double check the answer. 2015 scoring guideline. If you got it right before I go over it. See, this is the most common question to ask. Like, if I would ask you net rate, they will ask you how many cars in, how many cars out, but they will ask you when is minimum and what is the minimum amount. Trend, you got it right? So part C, this is the most common ask. And part B is also pretty common too. Okay. Anybody would like to help me go through this? And this is like a really crucial part. This is like 3 points minimum. So you have to understand this. So maybe other people's voice would be good. Anybody want to volunteer? Trent, did you get it right?
I got it. I can.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I'll let Priya do it.
Priya can go.
Yeah, Priya do it because Trent always. Priya is always Trent's always helping, but I'll let Priya. Okay, explain it. So Priya, go ahead.
Okay. So it's asking for the amount of water. So that's accumulation. So we'll have to find the integration. But before we do that, we have to find the time at which the water is at a minimum. So we have to do the net rate equation, which is R of t minus d of t to find the net rate. And then we graph that without taking derivative or anything, just that function. And then we have to find where it goes from negative to positive because that's the minimum. So once we find that time, which is
Priya, give me a second. Priya, give me a second. Let me do that for show people how to do here.
Okay.
So I type in the sine x squared, right? And I'm gonna show you a more efficient way to do it too. So 35. And I'll type in y2 is a negative 0.04 x to the q, right? And then plus 0.04 x squared. So somebody double check my math and see that if you don't double check, I'll make a mistake like that. Now this is another way to do it. See, I'm missing a sign here. I'm missing a plus sign. Of course I can do plus sign here because that's just 0.04. But if I want to insert, I would do second delete, and that's insert. So that's gonna be a plus, right? So, and I got extra 0 here. I can delete this one. And plus 0.96x. And the reason why I do it separately, the reason why is because part A is asking how much is in, and then so I want 2 separate parts. So, but I don't want to graph that. So, Priya, what do you think I want to do here? Like you say is in minus out.
Mm-hmm.
So what do I do here?
Are you showing something on YouTube?
Yeah.
Because I'm only on Zoom.
Oh, you okay? Yeah. So okay. Well, most of you guys can see right on YouTube or on Twitch.
On YouTube, it's actually a lag.
Yeah, it's the huge delay in time.
How much lag is 10 seconds?
You have to wait a couple minutes until it like catches up.
Okay, is Twitch faster? Let me see Twitch.
Can you send the Twitch link on the chat?
Is twitch.tv/. SINGU023. It's pretty fast. Twitch is on time.
No, Twitch is lag too.
Well, Twitch, actually Twitch is exactly on time, for me at least. Do you guys see it?
It shows that you typed in Y1 and Y2 so far.
Yeah,
So I think it's good.
Yeah, that's the one I type in. So
just what you're saying is a little loud.
Okay, so what Trent did is
where's my iPhone?
You cannot play iPhone. You can go draw or do something else. No, you cannot play iPhone. Sorry.
I don't.
Your eyes is already go bad. And don't bother mommy. Mommy's sleeping. So what I would do is actually I would do y1 is in, right? So I would do var and the function, and I'll do y1 minus var function y2 here, just because this, and I can unhighlight this. And I can just graph y1 to y2. I don't know if you guys can see that now. I don't know how many second delay is that. No, it's on time. Do you see that? And do you see how I unhighlight the other one? Because I don't want to see the other one. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I'll graph it. Oops. Oh, I'm an idiot. Don't ever do what I did. I do a subtracting sign as opposed to a negative sign. Dumbass. Why did I do the graph both of them? Oh, shit. You should try with your calculator too. Any questions here? And the window, I don't like -10. Well, first of all, I want it from 0 to 8, but I want to -1 to 9 because I always like to have a room to extra. And I will do between, I think in this case I'll do -10 to 10. And I'll graph. Okay, do you guys understand why I did not take a derivative of r of t and I did not take a derivative of d of t?
Because d of t and r of t is already the rate.
Yeah, it's already rate, right? Rate is like velocity. So we always check the velocity. Velocity is how fast things go in and out. That is the net rate. It's just in rate minus out rate. And that's just like looking at the derivative of the functions. Because if you look at the derivative function, you can tell what happened to the original function. When do they reach minimum? In this case, when do they reach minimum?
When time is, I think, 3.272.
Yep, 3.72. So that's the things that you have to pay attention to. So you have to make sure you graph this properly, and you have to graph both rate, subtracting each other, but you're not taking derivative of that rate, because if you take derivative of that rate, it's just rate over rate. So the graph's gonna go like this, right? And you're looking at this x-intercept. At this x-intercept, you're gonna do second, calc, and you're gonna do 0 here, and then you're gonna go from here, and you're gonna press enter, and you're gonna go here, and you're gonna press enter, and you're gonna enter this. It'll be 3.271. So that is the time take the water reach the minimum? Would take the point where the graph, yeah, it would work too, except the intersection is harder to reach. Yeah, it would work. So Chris asking on Twitch says, would taking the point where two graphs intersect work as well? It would work as well. I just always said the equation equal to 0, so I take in minus out equal to 0. So I take the in rate, which is RT, and even like if you write on a calculus on the thing, and the t equal to 3.271, that's how you're supposed to write it. But Chris says, what if I just do RT equal to D of t and looking for intersection? Yeah, that's perfectly fine. You're gonna get some exact value. Okay, but they say at data, they say is the amount of water at a minimum. So we're gonna talk about justification now because this is the absolute minimum between 0 to 8. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a table, right? And that table is very, very important. T, and this one is gonna be the amount, right? So at t equal to 0, how much water is in 0?
30.
30, right? Now how about 3.271? Well, how do I know that? So this is the time that it's best to do integration like inside the screen because you already have net in and net out already. So you can do second calc. You see the advantage of each. Integrations, and between 0 press enter and 3.271, and then press enter, and then they even shade it for you. So they told you is negative. This one is going to be what? 30 plus integration of 0.3.271 of r of t minus d of t and dt, and that's equal to negative 205, so it'll be 30 minus 2.035. So roughly, I can even do it outside scrim too, so maybe that'll be easier. Maybe I was wrong. So, but that one I can actually see what happened. Plus the integration math 9 0 to 3.3271 and to the function var, but to the y3 and dx. And you guys should try it too. And you press enter, you should get 27.964. And I will do.
Are those the only?
What?
Are those the only 2 points that you would put on the table?
I will do 8 as well. And 8 is gonna be maximum because you're gonna start adding more water in there, so it's not relevant. So I would just for be safe, and I'll do 8, and it's not hard. It's only taking 15 seconds. You're gonna do this. You don't want to type this whole thing in again. There's a shortcut to do this, right? There is a shortcut by pressing second, and you're pressing enter, and just change the upper bound to 8, and voila, you're done. Of course, it's gonna get higher. So 8 is gonna be 48.543, and therefore you say, yeah, the 27 is the minimum amount of water.
So when you approach like these types of questions, you would typically, like for the justification, find the result at the midpoint, not the midpoint, the end points and the minimum or maximum?
It's not minimum maximum, it's a critical point of the derivative, critical point of the rate. Yes, you would do the exact same thing. And the problem is people want to take a derivative of RNT and DOT. That's the problem, because they think about rate, they have to take about another derivative. But you don't have to do that because you're already at rate. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Would there be like a question where you would need to take the derivative, like a function like this?
In this thing, I don't see one, but I never say never. Just because, you know, question can change, and I cannot predict what kind of question they can change to. But in general, on the last 10 years AP exam, on any rate in and out, they usually including this part. And they usually including part B as well. In part B, people want to take the derivative as well. You're not taking the derivative, you just plug in 3 and compare is positive or negative. But people wanted to take derivative because they see increasing, decreasing, right? Because we already have a rate. That is a rate function they give it to you. That's the biggest confusion. And actually, matter of fact, it confused me at first as well. It's not only you, so that's why I want to spend time to going over it. So we knock out the rate question today.
Okay, that makes sense.
So the table itself would count as the justification, right? We wouldn't have to add anything else, right?
Yes, it will be the justification. Yes. Yeah, it will be justification. Yeah. Yeah, and for B, you don't take a derivative either. A lot of people want to take a derivative plug in 3, but the rate is already just think about the rate is a velocity. And it has amount of water means the original function. That means the position functions. So this question can be applied as a furthest left and furthest right too. So let me go back, and if it's talk about velocity, if this is a velocity equation, right? If this is a velocity equation, this point here at 3.274, that is gonna be the furthest left. Furthest left. Because it's going negative velocity. So that's furthest left. And at this point here at end point is probably furthest right, because you know that big area is outtake the small area, so it's definitely more right than before. That's called furthest right. So if that's a precision function, so you're gonna see the repetitive things. It just you have to connect the concept together and don't get confused. Anybody need me rephrase that? Imagine this is velocity, right? This is your furthest left at 3.274. Furthest right is going to be somewhere around 8. So I can ask you furthest left and furthest right in term precision function, velocity functions, in term of motion functions. Do you guys understand?
Yeah, but for part B, when they ask to give a reason, like if it's negative, it's decreasing, do you put because the amount is negative, or you put because there's more flowing out than going in?
You say because the rate is negative. Okay. Because the rate is negative, so it is decreasing. Okay, so do you guys understand now what's going on? Okay, let's go to the next questions. The next question is a volume question, and we kind of go over it yesterday, but we're just gonna go through really quickly. How do we maximize the points? So yesterday we gone over already. So yesterday we says this one just RT is integration between 0 to 3 f of x dx minus 0 to 3 g of x dx. But minus g of x dx, they already give you to you the area, which is negative 3.24123. So you should get your answer as 4.920. So that would give you 3 points. Okay, so we already did that yesterday, but I'm just gonna go in over it a little bit faster. Okay, so the next one is a washer. So you're gonna have to put pi outside and between 0 to 2, and it's gonna be 3 plus the f of x, 3 plus the function, and the inner function is gonna be 3 plus g of x. So if you write that out here, you would get 2 points, because most people, like even Taha, a lot of people are complaining, Dong is complaining about this question. You know, a lot of you guys are complaining, but the problem is you don't want to get all the point on this kind of disgusting questions. You want to get as maximum point as possible. So by setting this up, you're going to get 2 points out of 4. And does anybody need me go over how do I get that?
Yeah, can you go over it?
Yeah, this is a washer. So they already give you a drawing. So they say -3. You can draw 1 line, 2 lines. So it's a washer. So what happened is there was a black line here. This is the function. This is 3. This is 3. So it'd be 3 plus that. So that's why you have 3 plus the function square. This is this. It's a washer. And 3 plus g of x. So 3 plus g of x, which is this. So a black line plus a longer blue line, and black line plus shorter blue line. And then pi outside between 0 to 2. Questions about this part? And then I'm gonna go into by then I'm gonna go. What I'm doing is I'm gonna take a integration of this. This one I can use calculator. This one's easy to get done. This part, because they give you f of x as a function. The problem is they didn't give you g of x as a function. In this question, they never give you g of x, and that's what a lot of people has created a lot of problem. But Dong, what you should have done is you try to earn those 2 points first. And you can forget about the next 2 points if you don't want to. But at least write that part down. Dong, did you write that part down? Is Dong even here?
He said, yeah.
Okay. So if you write that part down, it's already earned you 2 points. And then rest of the part that you don't need to get is fine. But this one you can use a calculator. So this part can be calculated. Now this one you just have to expand them. You're going to expand as pi 0 to 3. Well, it's minus. So whatever that is minus is. It's going to be 3 times 3 is 9. Minus 6. I'm just going to distribute that. Minus 6 of g of x. And then plus g of x square. And it turns out they have g of x squared. It turns out they have that. So it turns out they have this part. And they also, I think they also give you g of x as well, which is the region is 3.24. So this is 3.24. And the g of x they give it to you is 5.321. So you just have to work it out, plug it in. You just only had to do integration between 0 to 3 to the negative 9. And your final answer should get 156. But you don't need to earn that point. I think it's unnecessary. It's too much work. But even you did get it, that's great.
Wait, but if you just solve for the g of x part, then what happened to the f of x?
F of x you can use calculator. Because f of x is a function that they give it to you, right? So it's going to be 3 times 1 plus x to the 0.5 cosine of pi x. It's that one weird function. So I can do this part using calculator. This part using calculator. And this part you had to use calculator, but in a different way because you don't have to take integrations. Maybe I'll erase it because it's kind of messy. You know, answer is 156. You guys should try it. So integration from 0 to 2, 3 plus f of x square minus 3 plus g of x square dx. So this one you can split up to, what is it, pi? Pi times 0 to 2, 3 plus f of x square dx. And I can use a calculator to evaluate this. Minus integration from 0 to 2 of
Sorry, 0 to 3.
Huh? 0 to 3? Is it 0 to 3 or 0 to 2?
I think it's 3.
Okay. So, and this part you can expand them. That's what they want you to do. They want you to expand them. So this one you can use calculator. So calculator. And this one you can get minus integration from 3 to 0 of sorry, that's going to be integration from 0 to 2 of 3 plus 6 g of x plus g of x square dx. And then this one here you can do minus 6 g of x and plus g of x square. This one is a value. They told you what value is. G of x is going to be 3.24125. So 3.24125. And this one, g of x, is giving 5.32021. So after integral, you're going to get this. And then at the end, you should get 156. And like I said, you don't need to earn out a point by writing this line. And if you get stuck, move on. Come back if you have time. This is worth 2 points. You should get 156. Okay, the last one is just f of x minus g of x is the d. D is the distance between two curves. And this one, they say is 7 times the length of the base. So it'll be 7 times that, 0 to 3, and then you're done. This one is just going to get you 2 points. So even without this part, you will get 7 out of 9. And for a tough question, this is a win. For a tough question, this is a win. Can I go to the next one? Do you guys understand this part?
Yeah.
Cool. Now, this is average rate of change. So, Chinese, now this is average rate of change. So they ask you average rate of change, they'll give you 2 time interval, right? They'll give you like x equal to -3 and x equal to 4. So that is something you need to know. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. So anybody know what's average rate of change equation is?
Wait, the f of b minus f of a over b minus a?
Yeah. And even if you just write down this, it would give you 4 points. It would give you all the point. It would give you like 1 point. Even just write down like this. You don't have to write down all the things. You can earn a lot of points without knowing anything. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in 4 into here. So f of 4 is equal to -4 plus 3 cosine of 4 pi over 2. So 4 pi over 2 is 2 pi, right? So what is the cosine of 2 pi?
One.
Cosine of 2 pi is 1, so it would be -1, right? And what's the f of -3? Well, I'm going to plug in -3 there. So it'd be 9 minus -3 squared. That's equal to 9 minus 9 equal to 0. So it's 1 over 7. Let me see how many points you will earn here. You would earn like exactly 1 point. Not too many, but it's okay. Write the equation tangent line at x equal to 3. X equal to 3, you had to take a derivative. So f of x. Now, every time derivative had to be involved with chain rule. That's why I was told you. Plus 3 cosine of pi over 2 x. Right? If you take a derivative of this, it's going to be -1 minus 3 sine of pi over 2 x times pi over 2. Don't forget about that chain rule. And then that's going to give you -1. At 3 pi over 2 is going to be -1. Wait, sine of 3 pi over 2 is what? It's -1, right? So it's going to be plus 3 pi over 2, I think.
Mister, is a negative or positive?
Did I subtract wrong? A is negative. You're right. I subtract wrong. F4 is -1. I'm the dumbass. Cannot write. Thank you. So what happened at f of 3 though? Well, you need an f of 3. F of 3 is gonna be plugged in here. F3 is equal to -3 plus 3 cosine of 3 pi over 2, which is 0. This is 3. So y plus 3 equal to -1 plus 3 pi over 2 multiplied by x minus 3. And that would earn you all 2 points. Plus 1, plus 2. That's an easy point, I think, but you have to know your trig values. Go back and review all your trig values, it helps. Can I go forward? So they can give you a piecewise function. They can even ask you integral of this too. Find the average value. Well, they did ask you integral, see? So you have to know what's average value and average rate of change. Average value is going to be 1 over b minus a of f of x between -3 to 4. So it would be 1 over 7 from -3 to 0 of f of x. First, you had to break up to 2 separate integrals, plus 0 to 4 of f of x dx. So since this is a piecewise function, you had to figure out from -3 to 0 of the left side of function, which is 9 minus x squared. This is tough questions. Plus integration from 0 to 4 of -x, I think, plus 3 cosine pi over 2x. Do you guys remember how to take an integration of this? How many guys remember how to do that? Nobody? Trent, did you get this?
Wouldn't you use U substitution?
No. Priya, did you get this?
Priya left already.
Okay. Jasmine?
She left too.
Oh, nobody here, okay. So how would you do it without U substitution? What kind of equation is this? What kind of graph does it look like?
Semicircle.
Yeah. Do you know how to do it now? Nine pi over 4. That would give you 1 point. I think this will give you 1 point. This will give you the second point if you find out that. And you can figure out a third point too, between 0 to 4 of -x squared. This is going to be -x squared over 2 plus integration to cosine is going to be sine. So it'll be 3 cosine of pi over 2 times x times 2 over pi between 4 to 0. So it's going to give you I think this is going to give you -8, I'm not sure. So 4 square root of 16 is -8. 4 oh, this is a sine, my bad. So sine of 4 pi over 2 is what? That's a 0. Minus 0. So it'd be -8. So it'd be -8. So the answer is 1 over 7 of 9 pi over 4 minus 8. Trent, did you get it?
Wait, how did you get 9 pi over 4?
Because it's a semicircle. And since it's a -3 to 0, so it's a quarter circle. It's not even a semicircle. So it'll be 3 times 3 pi over 4. What you doing? My skin, don't touch that. Okay, must be value absolute this is a 4-point. This is actually a lot of question. Must there be value attain absolute maximum at closed interval? So absolute maximum occur at the endpoint. So we're gonna say is oh, they didn't say that. Must there be a value f of x contain absolute maximum in the closed interval? Justify your answer. So this one is actually is you just have to prove it's continuous or not. So this is something you guys usually don't see. It's called extreme value theorem. Extreme value theorem. If the function is continuous, if the function is continuous, then therefore it's gonna be please stop. Absolute max or absolute min.
I wanna play.
So all you gotta do is justify limit x approach to
I wanna play.
0 for 9 minus x squared. No games. Your eyes you already cannot see. Remember, yesterday you sit on sofa, you can even see a Mario Kart. And limit x approach to 0 from the left side, so that is gonna be it's gonna be 3 also. Is equal to 3. So which is -x plus something, I don't know, what was it? 3 cosine pi over 2x. So that's equal to 3. So therefore it's continuous. So it's continuous, therefore you got a absolute maximum minimum. If a function is continuous, it has to be an absolute max or absolute min. Does that make sense? That's called extreme value theorem. That's something I didn't spend a lot of time on. If it's on the test, it's my fault. Okay, so this one we went over yesterday, so we don't have to go over again because we did it together. And this one is 2 particles. So should I go over this one or no? We did yesterday, right? Are you guys still here?
Yeah.
We did this yesterday. So you can watch it yesterday's recording. But we did this one. Yeah, we did this one. So we got question 5 and question 6. Oh, question 6 is easy. Okay, because question 5, you got another table, and they say how many power did Chloe travel between 0 to 2. And that C of t, according to that, is gonna be Brendan and Chloe ride a bike for 4 hours, long, flat, straight road. Brendan velocity in mile per hour, differentiable. Chloe's velocity is given like this. So how would you do the first part? Wow, this is actually tough questions. They're not tough questions, but they're just tough integrals. Are you guys here?
Would you just take the integral between 0 and 2 for the first function of
Yep.
C of t?
Yep. And you need it. How do I take an integral of this?
Could you use a calculator?
Nope. Nice try. Doesn't hurt to try.
This is the non-calculator section.
Yep.
Oh.
Trent, did you get an answer for you here? Oh, she's gone too.
No, I'm still here.
Okay. Did you get an answer for this one?
Wait, hold on. Let me do it first. I didn't get to do it, the FRQ yesterday.
Okay. I'll let you guys do it.
Would you use U substitution?
Yep, you would. U equal to what?
4 minus t squared.
Mm-hmm. And what do you have to do?
You have to plug the bounds into U to find your new bounds.
So you're gonna get 0 and 4, right? So integration du is equal to negative 2t dt. So it'd be between 0 and 4, and t e to the u times du over minus 2t. So t and t cancel out. So 1 over negative 2. And it's going to be e to the 0 minus e to the 4. So it'll be e to the 4 over 2 minus 1/2. Yep, that's the final answer. At time t equal to 3, is the Chloe speed increasing or decreasing? What's the best way to do this? We talked about this yesterday.
Would you compare her velocity and acceleration and see if the signs are opposite or the same?
Right. So you have to pay attention which equation you should use. This one or this one?
The second one, because it has 3 in the interval.
Right. So you gotta have the c of 3 of 12 minus 3 times 3 minus 3 squared. So that's equal to 12 minus 9 minus 9, right? So that's equal to negative 6. And c prime of 3 is equal to negative 3 minus 2t minus 2 times 3. So it'll be negative 3 minus 6 equal to negative 9. So it's slowing down or speeding up? Increase or decrease?
It's increasing because it's the same sign.
Increasing.
Mister, can you let Priya in?
Yeah, I let her in already. So that's how you get to this part. I think this first two parts okay, doable. I think last question is pretty challenging. Priya, did you get this part? I think you left at this part. I don't know
which part?
I don't know which part you left at.
I think I left at number 1.
Oh, you left at number 1?
Yeah, 3 o'clock.
Oh, you just come back?
Yeah, I had to go eat lunch.
Okay. Anyway, you can watch your recording. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's good.
So this is number 5. And number 6, is the time Brandon acceleration equal to 2.5 miles per hour? Justify your answer. What's Brandon's equation? 0 to 4 is equal to 2.4 miles per hour. Yeah. Which value theorem? Which theorem you want to get involved with?
Would you use mean value theorem?
Yeah. Because they give you a table, right? So the table is let's take it because they say v of t is a differentiable function, so that must means continuous. So you have to say Brandon's velocity, I think that's a velocity, yeah, is differentiable, therefore it's continuous. Okay, and then that's going to be f of b, also b of 4 minus b of 0 over 4 minus 0. So I think it's 11 over 4. Wait, 11 over 4 is 2.75, right? No, 10 over 4, sorry, 11 minus 1. So it'll be 10 over 4, so it'll be 2.5. So it must reach 2.5 miles per hour because due to mean value theorem. But you have to write down a condition first. Due to 2.5. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, would you have to like explicitly mention mean value theorem, or is it okay that you just put the conditions?
No, you had to mention mean value theorem. If they just justify, they want you to justify with the theorem.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Is it time between 0 to 2 which velocity is equal to Chloe's velocity? Justify your answer. Okay, 0 to 2. Let's check between 0 to 2. They go from 1 to 8. Then back to 1.5. Honestly, this one is pretty tough. So the way they did it is kind of different. They just compare the 0. They compare the difference between 2. So they compare b of 0 minus c of 0. And they compare b of 2 minus c of 2. Okay, so this one's a really hard one. This one's more difficult than the other one. So this one's going to equal to 1, and this one's equal to negative 0.5. So if the difference between two speed went from positive to negative, therefore it must equal to 0. So they must equal to each other. Does that make sense? So if Brendan at 0 subtract Chloe at 0 is 1, and Brendan at 2 subtract Chloe at 2 is negative 0.5. So that means that it has to go to 0. And if it go to 0, that just means it's intermediate value theorem. So this means intermediate value theorem.
How do you know to put Brandon's like velocity first and then Chloe's instead of reverse?
Actually it doesn't matter, because if you consistent, it's still gonna be one is like a -1 and one is positive 0.5. You still have to go to 0.
Oh, okay.
So this is many value theorem. And that's how you earn the last one. This one's actually probably the hardest one to explain. It's really hard to come out to do. It's easier to do b to 0. It's easier to say it's like Brandon have equal to 0 mile per hour is because it went from -1 to -5, but it's really hard to compare Brendan and Chloe. So you had to take a difference between Brendan and Chloe. Now this is the first time I've seen this question. Like I say, this is an international exam. Very difficult one. But you should be able to get most of the point except the last two. So it should be 7 out of 9 still. Even you don't know how to do that last part.
Mr. Ye, did you say this was a generally harder exam than the ones we'll be taking?
Yeah. Okay. So FRQ, that the release exam, the thing. So what happened is, they want to have teacher give out a set of tests that they cannot copy off from. You know what I'm saying? Because they cannot give you a test question, so they release the international exam. That's why I'm not supposed to doing this, but I don't really care because this is my last year. So, and also because of COVID, it's not reasonable that it's really hard to test a student. So that's why they make it all those secure. So they wanted like a teacher have something that they can keep, that no one can find the answer online, or no one can find a test online. But technically, if I release a student, they could take a picture and post on it, and that's just the truth. But they still wanted some type of things that they can secure. So teacher can use to give student a test. So like, for example, if I give you a mock exam, although I never count any mock exams, but some teacher does count them as a final grade, so they are more motivated to do something. So international exam are given to international students outside the United States, and besides, United States are weaker in term of mathematics. So if we give international exam for the local people, then they won't survive. Now, luckily, question 6 is super easy. At least I hope so. This one just implicit derivative. You should be able to do this with the eyes closed now. So 4x plus 6y dy dx minus 4 times 1y plus x dy dx is equal to 0. If you write that first line, you already get a point. It's 4x plus 6y dy dx minus 4y minus 4x dy dx is equal to 0. Dy dx factor out, that's going to give you 6y minus 4x, and the other one is going to be 4y minus 4x. So dy dx is equal to 4y minus 4x over 6y minus 4x. and just factor out 2, so it'll be 2y minus 2x over 3y minus 2x. So yeah, that's a automatic. I don't know how many points they are. This one should be an automatic point. This one only 2 points. And the slope of the line tangent at a point x equal to 6. So with this one, x equal to 6, what do you have to do? What is it missing?
The y.
Yeah.
So you plug 6 into the original.
Yeah. So 3672 plus 3y squared minus 6, so it would be 24. Y equal to 36. Ooh, nice quadratic. 3y squared minus 24. Y plus 36, I think. 3y squared this one is gonna be what? Minus 8y plus 12, 0, y minus 6, y minus 2, y equal to 6, y equal to 2. So you can have 2 different slopes. So you can have as 6, 2 and 6, 6. So dy dx is equal to 2 times y, which is 2, minus 2 times x over 2 times y, which is 2, minus 2 times x, 6. So that one is equal to 6, 2 is equal to 4 over 3. And 6, 6 is gonna be 0. Semicircle, every time says a function is differentiable, do we use mean value theorem? I'm sorry, I didn't see your question. I think your question, I don't know who the heck is lower caret, but I think you are asking the semicircle one. Yeah, that's a semicircle one. Semicircle one is gonna be because x squared plus y squared is equal to 9, y squared equal to 9 minus x squared, y equal to plus minus square root of 9 minus x squared. So that part is a semicircle. And then you just do it a quarter circle because of from -3 to 0. And you say mean value theorem. I don't know which questions are involving. Oh, C is a mean value theorem. Usually I do mean value theorem. I did it inside my head, just kind of verify. Usually it's going to end up to be 2.5. So that's a way to prove that the slope are the same. So acceleration is a slope of the velocity. But anyway, that's that.
Wait, mister, for part B, isn't like the denominator, no, we're the one that we're on. Isn't the denominator supposed to have 3 times 2 instead of 2 times 2? Because otherwise that would equal positive 1, like the slope for dy over dx.
Which one?
for dy over dx, when you plug the x and y intercepts and the denominator, you put 2 times 2, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be 3 times 2.
Oh, 3
Because
times 2.
otherwise it would just be 1.
Okay, so it'd be 6. I don't know, I didn't work out. I just kind of look at the solution because I didn't want to work out. But yeah, that's what the solution says. It's 4 over 3 and 0. And I don't know how many points that earned you. I'm gonna go look. Ooh. This one will earn you 2 points. Not very generous. It's very shitty for 2 points. Find the positive value of x, which is a curve has a vertical tangent. So how do I find a vertical tangent line? This one everybody should be able to get. How do I find vertical tangent line?
Is that when the slope is like undefined?
Yeah, so how do I make a slope undefined?
By equaling it to 0?
By what?
Equaling it to 0.
Which one equal to 0?
Like the...
Which part is equal to 0? Huh?
Like the denominator?
Yep. Find the positive value x, which is... Okay, so this one's kind of hard, so it's going to be... Wait, what was that question at? It's 3y minus 2x. So 3y minus 2x. And then 3y equal to 2x. Does that make sense? And then I will do is substitute back in the original equation. So it'll be 2x squared plus 3y squared equal to minus 4xy equal to 36. So 3x squared. No, 2x squared, sorry. So write down 2x squared plus 3y squared is minus 4xy equal to 36. So I'll plug in 3y is equal to 2x. So let me plug in y is equal. They want to find the x value, so I want to solve for x or solve for y. I'll solve for y, right? Y equal to 2x over 3, right? So it'll be 2x squared plus 3 y squared, so it'll be 2x over 3 squared minus 4x times y 2x over 3 equal to 36. I don't know if I'm going anywhere with this. I'm going to try it. So this one is plus 4x squared over 3, I think. And this one's minus 6x squared over 3 is equal to 36. It might go in somewhere with this. Hold it. 2x plus minus 2x squared over 3 equal to 36. So that is going to be 4 over 3 x squared equal to 36. 4 x squared equal to 108. x squared equal to 108 divided by 4. What's 108 divided by 4? 27. So x equal to plus minus 27, or equal to 3 square root 3 plus minus. Let me double make sure my work is correct. Oh, I did something wrong. Hold on, let me see what I did wrong. Oh, I have right all the way to some points, but y equal to 2 over 3x. Did I do something wrong? Let me see. Oh yeah, I did something wrong. I'm an idiot. 4 times 2 is 8. Idiot. So that's equal to equal to 2 over 3x squared is equal to 108 equal to 36. So x squared equal to 54 and x equal to 3 square root of 6. And it's plus minus. And they say because x is positive, so it has to be x equal to 3 square root of 6. So let's erase this part. Can multiply. So just plug in the original equation. This is a simple algebra work. Yeah, just make sure 4 times 2 is not 6. Any question about this part?
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay, so let x and y be function related to ex. Equation 2x squared plus 3y squared minus 4xy equal to 36. At time t equal to 1, the value x is 2. The value y is -2. The value dy dt is 4. Find the dx dt. So, let's take a derivative with respect to time. So it would be 4x dx dt plus 6y dy dt and the only reason why I kind of didn't read the question, I just kind of like think about what I have to do. And minus 4 times x let me get to that first. Let me take a derivative first. X dy dt plus y dx dt is equal to 36. So let me read the question again. The xy be function of time t that are related to the equation. At t equal to 1, the value of x is 2. The value y is -2. The value dy dt is 4. And dx dt is, find dx dt when t equal to 1. Oh, actually this one's going to be 0. Let me make sure that if I'm doing okay. Yeah, so let me plug in all the values. So 4 times x, which is 2, and dx dt, I don't know, plus 6 times y. Y is what? -2. Dy dt is 4. Minus 4 times x is 2. Dy dt is 4 plus y. Where's now y? Y is 4. No, y is -2. Dx dt is, don't know, and is equal to 0. Because derivative is 0. So it'll be 8 dx dt plus minus 12 minus 48 minus 4 times 8 minus 2 dx dt is equal to 0. So 8 dx dt minus 48 minus 32 plus 2 dx dt, plus 8 dx dt equal to 0. So it'll be 16 dx dt is equal to 80. So dx dt is equal to 5. Yep, I got 5. Wow, there's a lot easier way to do this. dy dx times dx dt.
What's the other way?
Hold on, let me see if I understand it first. But this is the right answer. This is it just take derivative with respect to time and plug in whatever they want you to plug in. The other way, they just want a dy dt. dy dt is a dy dx times dx dt. That's a pretty interesting way. I would never doubt that. So they say dy dt. Let me see if you can understand it. Is equal to dy dx times dx dt, and that's equal to 3y minus 2x times 3y minus 2x times dx dt, which is what we're trying to find, and that's equal to dy dt, which is 4. And plug in whatever value and solve for dx dt. So 4 equal to 3 times, no, this is 2y. So this one's going to be 2 times negative 2 minus 4 over 3 times negative 2 and minus 4. So so eventually you're going to get dx dt. dx dt is equal to 5. So it's same answer, but it's a lot more efficient. But that was involve a chain rule, so that's kind of hard to see. But anyway, you should get x equal to 5. So this test it's hard, it's rough, a lot of arithmetic. It's probably the most arithmetic I have seen for a while. Even on just on one question, there's so much arithmetic, so much time restraint, and so many mistakes you can make. Like for example, I make 4 times 2 is equal to 6, and I got completely different answers. So yeah, it's really hard to be disciplined and fight it through. But I hear you should get dx dt equal to 5. Now this one is, I look at the solution key. This one is, I got it myself. Luckily I didn't make a mistake here. I didn't make a mistake here though. 4 times 2 is 8, not 6. But everything else is doable. So this one is hard. This one, mean value theorem, for sure. You should get that. Speed increasing. This one is okay. Let me know if you have any other questions, even on multiple choice. I cannot tell you which one you got wrong. That's not what they're able to tell you, but they tell you which kind of concept you got wrong. So trend, you got a lot of intermediate value theorem wrong. And yeah, mainly intermediate value theorem.
Mr. Ye, I have a question on MCQ. I texted you the picture because while I was taking it on AP Classroom, I took a picture. I just didn't understand what it was saying.
Okay, let me look at it. Oh, yeah, this one you're not here, and we talk about that's a definition of integral. And that one it's gonna take forever for me to explain that. So
Okay.
because usually that's why I told people to come after school. I don't know if you remember, I told people come after school one day to learn something that they might only see it once on the AP exam, and maybe at most is one question, but it would take a 2 to 3 day to explain it.
Okay.
So I didn't want it to explain it that day. But let me see the question. You didn't take a picture of the whole thing though. Yeah, even right now with you, I will probably have to explain like 30 minutes. And I don't think it's worth it. I mean, even you're, I think you're A student, so it's gonna be 30 minutes for A student, so it's not valuable. We'd rather talk at other questions. But I did spend, like, we talk about it in 2 hours with a lot of people are very fast at picking up, and it takes 2 hours to do. Let's take 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, talk about the definition of integrals. But if you're interested, look into definition of integrals. It basically just width times rectangles, and you have to understand what a summation mean. You have to understand what a lot of things. So in Calc 2 that you'll do that, but right now I don't think it's worth it.
Okay.
Okay, so what we can do is we can skim through that the multiple choice question, and you can tell me which question you guys have. So let me see if we can do that. So let me skim through here. So let me share my computer screen, which is a mess. Let me see if I can open my AP Classroom here. So my AP Classroom. And yeah, Trent, I won't worry about you. I think you're fine. Because your average score is being pretty consistent. It's on the low end of 5, but I think a test is not as hard as you imagine. Like you imagine the test is this hard. No, not international exam. International exam are different species. Okay, so you don't have to worry about as much. That's why I didn't release the international exam from this part, but I think this one's way too much math. So let's go look at MCQ. And let me know if you guys have any questions. We can go over those. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, just tell me when to stop. Just tell me when to stop. So this is the first question. Oh, this is easy. We're not gonna stop here. Equation tangent line. Yeah, we don't need to stop here, right? Hopefully not. This one, do you need me to stop?
Can you go over the onion method again, or whatever this one is? I got it right, but I just want to make sure I know.
Oh, you know which question you got wrong?
Yeah, it shows you, but it just doesn't show you the question.
Okay, sure. The onion method. Okay, yeah, that's fine. The onion method, just make sure you understand. So 2 sine square root x and then square. And this question actually write it very nicely. They could have been meaner, they could have write like this. 2 sine square of square root
Are
x.
you writing?
Oh yeah, I cannot share both screen at the same time. What's the best way to do this? I have to share that there. I cannot share it here. Okay. So oh, maybe okay, maybe I'll share it here. So let me share here. iPad. So this question, yeah, this question should be a very automatic question, but it'll be more worse if they give you this format and you had to figure out that format is equal to this. And the onion method basically just peeling the onion, which think about which one's composite within which one. So it'd be 2 times sine of square root x squared. So what happened is you're going to take the derivative outside first. And then you're going to drop the 2 times 2 times sine of square root x, right? And then that is the second layer because you peel the 2 down. Then you had to take a derivative of the sine, which is cosine square root x, and times derivative of square root x, which is 1 over 2 square root x. So 2 and 2 cancel out, so it'll be 2 sine square root x cosine of square root x over square root x. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so let me go back to continue share the other one. Multiple choice questions. Let's share multiple choice questions. Here. This one just use substitution. U equal to the bottom. Let me know which question you mess up, or trend too, if you guys are the only 2 students take it. Which one you need me go to? Trend.
Like 15, but like for one of the other one, how do you take derivative of like 5 to the x?
Oh, natural log of both sides. So y equal to 5x, and natural log of y equal to natural log of 5x, and then it's going to drop down the front, so it'll be x natural log of 5. And then take a derivative on both sides, you're going to get y prime over y, and you got natural log of 5 on the other side, so it'll be natural log of 5 times 5x. You're not following me, are you?
Okay, I got it, I think.
You got it? Okay, question 15, you says?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, you got this. This is a, we went over it though. We went over this one. So let's redo again instead of like me telling you what to do, but I think you could have got this. Remember, let me write it down for you, the things. Okay, so I cannot show you how to do this one, but I'll show you how to think about things. This is the stuff you guys need to write it down for the exam, or need to memorize for the exam, which is which is what's the definition of continuous? Can you tell me what's the definition continuous?
It's defined.
Yeah,
F of C is defined.
F of C is defined. Good.
And limit of x approaching C from the left of f of x is the same as limit approaching x approaching C to the from the right of f of x.
Right. And
then
last one.
Limit of x approaching C of f of x is equal to f of C.
That's right. So you have everything done. The parity. So this just means this. And last one is limit x approaches C from the left side of f prime of x equal to limit x approaches C from the positive side of prime of x. Yeah. Oh, not okay, you should see the question you should see the question on Twitch, right? No, it's not. It's not on Twitch. So let me share it. What the hell? So let me go to Zoom. Let me share a desktop. Now do you see it?
Yeah, it's on Zoom now.
I wish I can do a split screen. There's a way for me to do a screen. Yeah, I was talking about definition of integral, but that was for some other question that's not here. You say this question is answers A. Yeah, I think so. If you
Wait, didn't I put B?
It's continuous but not differentiable. I don't know. Let's take a derivative. It's gonna be 2x. Oh yeah, it's A. It's A.
Yeah, I got A.
Wait, what is the answer?
Answer is A.
Wait, but differentiable, so like negative 2x, but then you put, oh my
gosh. Okay. That's okay. Yeah, I did 4 times 2 equal to 6. So, oh, I see why I got 6. I add them. Genius. It's like, wait, what's 2 times 5? What did you got?
Now for the first one, I put negative 2x, but then somehow I plug in like 25 instead of 5.
You think that 2 and 5 can go together and just plug in? Yeah, that's okay. It happened to best of us. And you're also tired because that's a Saturday. Okay, other questions?
Can you go over 16?
Yeah. dy dx. Yeah, this is just differential equation. Try again, see if you got it.
Okay.
Separation variable. Oh, I think I know where you make mistake. Did you do U substitution?
Yeah.
Did you get negative du?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that so far was right. So it'd be natural log of negative natural log of u equal to x plus c. Yeah, negative, so it'll be negative x plus c. I'm trying to do it in my head, so 2 minus y equal to ex ce to the x. So it will be 2 minus ce to the x. And then you plug in 1 and 1. Did you guys got it? Should I do it again? Try to know what you get.
Wait, I'm still working on it.
I'm really wondering who's Laura Carrots.
Lord Carrots?
Yeah. He's on a Twitch.
I'm like, maybe that's Bugs Bunny. I'm not sure.
Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
See, I think that's my student. He's trolling me. But he said he's from California.
Oh, is that George?
I guess it's George, but I don't think he's George. I think he's my student.
Yeah, possibly.
And he's just trolling me, says that he's George. Should I do it or no? You guys got it or no?
Can you do it, please?
Sure. So, according to Lord George, he says A. Do you guys have a question? Write it down because I don't remember the question.
Yeah. Is dy over dx equals 2 minus y?
Okay, so dy dx is equal to what?
2 minus y.
Dy.
And
okay, just let me. 2
okay.
minus y equal to dx. So natural log of 2 minus y negative is equal to x plus c. Natural log of 2 minus y equal to negative x plus c. E to the both side 2 minus y equal to e to the negative x plus c. So it'll be c e to the negative x 2 minus y. Y is equal to 2 minus c e to the negative x. Okay, what did I say? X equal to 1, y equal to 1, right?
Yeah.
So 1 equal to 2 minus c e to the negative 1. So that's going to be negative 1 equal to negative c e to the negative 1. Oh, that's pretty cool. 1 equal to c e to the negative 1. 1 over e to the negative 1 equal to c. C is equal to e. So then y equal to 2 minus c is e times e to the negative x. So that would be 2 minus e to the 1 minus x.
Wait, how did you get negative ln
Because
in the beginning?
use substitution. I don't show it, but
Oh, I always forget that.
and if this question is on FRQ, 6 points. It's actually pretty hard evaluation. It's what did George say? George says A. Is A right? I say it's B.
Mr. E, would you get the same answer if you kept 2 on the x side and did 2x?
What?
Huh?
Huh? What did you say?
Oh, I said instead of moving 2 minus y to the other side, I just moved y to the other side and then I just kept 2 there. Would you get the same answer with that?
That's what I did. I moved y to the other side and I moved ce to the negative x to the left side.
Oh no, I mean in the beginning, in the separation of variables.
I don't know. Wait, you say what? Separation variable? You move 2 minus y on the right hand side? No, you cannot. You have to make sure.
Oh, never mind.
You have to make
Yeah,
sure
that's
dy
fine.
is on the top.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot make sure dy is on the bottom. How can I make sure Lord Carrot is not my student?
Bribe him.
Bribe him?
Yeah.
I don't have money.
Say that you'll give him.
I'm on
say
teacher
that-
salary.
That's true.
I have to buy you guys donut and pizza already, so.
Yeah. Say that you'll give him a slice of pizza if he's honest.
That's true. If he's at our school, then he can have pizza.
Yeah. Or you can always hack his account. You never know.
Let me see what you say. Laura Carrot, we're gonna bribe you with a pizza.
You're actually going through it. Oh my gosh, yes.
Tell me your true identity. He's not responding to me.
Maybe he doesn't like pizza.
Maybe.
Could be a donut type of person.
Could be a donut type person. I don't know. He say LOL. I think he's my student. I'm not sure.
I think so.
He say he's George. He say I'm George. What's your last name, George? Okay, next question. We're gonna figure out his true identity. Harris. George Harris? No, that sounds too white. He says the name is George Harris. Have screen name is Laura Carrot 999.
I don't know anyone by that name.
That sounds white. Are you white, George? I might get canceled saying that, am I? He says he's black. No, he's not black. Harris? Harris is a black last name? I don't remember seeing a black guy last name Harris. Have I? No, that's a lie. Anyway, next question. We're gonna figure out.
25.
25. Let's look at it. Okay, so 25. Oh, the same one. Okay, that's a weird one. So what you're gonna do is for this question, it's not that bad. Can you see my screen or no?
No, you're not sharing it.
Jesus, I need a split screen so I can switch screen back and forth. He says he's black. George Harris, black, phone. Palo Alto High School. Palo Alto High School is probably like a is that where Apple come from? I think that's where the Silicon Valley. Is that a private school?
Wait, what school?
If I were to guess, this guy is a Taha. If I were to guess, this guy is Taha. Okay, so this question basically, he says totally not Taha. It's totally Taha. I'm gonna reason it out. Okay, so this question basically they give you 4 choices, right? What you're gonna do is take a first derivative and then take a second derivative, and plug in that question. Whatever question that's end up to equal to 0, that's the answer. Do you see what I'm saying or no? So you see the first choice is y prime minus 6y minus 30, right? So you're just gonna take a derivative of that, and that'll be dy dx. So this is called differential equation. So you're gonna take a derivative of that, and a minus 6y. 6y is gonna be 10 e to the 6x minus 10, and minus 30 should end up equal to 0. Hi, Max. No, your eyes you cannot see. Your eyes gonna go bad. You're playing too much. Do you guys get it or no?
Not really.
No?
No.
Okay, so This is a question that is gonna be on like a differential equation, which is kind of weird. I think that's Taha. Pretty sure. I almost want to bet money on it. Laura carrot 999.
You could try DMing Taha.
Huh?
You can always like DM him or something.
But that's
Oh, hey, Max.
okay. So let me screen share this. Can you guys remember the question or remember the choices? Or take a screenshot of that. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna share my iPad, and y equal to 2e to 6x, right? So, oh, I can do that. Oh, I can do that. This that would be easier. So, y equal to 2 to the e to the 6x minus 5. Now this question usually don't show. I don't know why they do this question. This question is silly. This question is differential equation. It's not even worth it. So this 12 e to the 6x. Does that make sense? 12 e to the 6x. Oh my god, my handwriting is already ugly. This is even worse. And the y double prime, right? It's gonna be 12 times 6 is 72 e to the 6x. So I would say probably nothing to do with double prime, because there's no way they can cancel out. Oh, they might. I don't know. I think C will be pretty reasonable. So you're just gonna do that. So I'm gonna try C first. So 72. Oh, my arm hurts. Of 6x. Right. Stop, Max. Max, can you stop? Stop, Max, please. Stop. 5 times 12 is 72. So minus 72, minus 60 e to the 6x. I'm gonna try the answer choice C. And they say minus 6y. Minus 6y is minus 12 e to the 6x. Minus 12, 6 e to the x. E to the 6x. So 72 x will cancel out. This will cancel out completely. But there was a 5 left over, or there was actually a 30 left over. So I don't think it's C. You can try B, and you can try any of those choices, see if it's right. So basically just substitute back in. You're supposed to get 0. If it gets 0, that's the right answer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because only Taha says, but I'm probably wrong. What? I have no idea what you say.
You should ask You should ask Max if you think it's Taha, or if he thinks it's Taha.
I think this guy is Taha. I'm not sure. I'm almost 90% sure. He say he's black. Taha's not black, but he's dark skinned. And Harris is Taha's friend. And George, you just come. What?
The answer is B.
The answer is B. Okay, cool. Basically, just plug in, just follow the. It's pretty much just direction following. No, oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Good job. Okay, next question. What's the other question you want me to do?
26.
26. Let's look at 26. You have to test endpoints and critical points.
Okay, then we can skip this one.
What did you do? You only did critical
I didn't
points.
test endpoint.
No, that's okay. So Max says answer is C. Is answer C? Okay, next question. Ooh, I love this one. Do you guys have a problem with this one?
We should go over that one.
Okay. Why don't you guys do it first? Just reiterate. Lower caret. Don't move that, don't move that. They are looking at it. Is mommy still sleeping? Don't wake her up. What's Coco doing?
Mommy's still sleeping.
Okay, don't wake up mommy. Did you guys got it? Priya, did you get this one? Excuse me, I need both. Thank you. Is Priya still here? Probably not. Oh, he should have. Oh, she's here.
Oh, did you say my name?
Yeah. Did you get this one?
My
right?
volume is low. Yeah, I did.
Okay. A person stands 30 feet from a point. So watch a balloon rise vertically. I show below. The balloon is rising at a constant rate, 2 feet per second. What is the rate of change if radian per second of the data is instant? Balloon is 40 feet above the building, above the point P. Okay, so what's something that doesn't change here?
30.
Good. And what is changing? What is the changing that we have?
The height.
The height. Okay, so what's the relationship between the 30 and the height?
Tangent. Like,
yeah, you're right. Tangent data is equal to y over 30. And then just have to take a derivative of tangent. You will get secant square d data dt equal to 1 over 30 dy dt. And dy dt is known as to be 2. So it'll be 1 over 15 on this side. And then you just have to figure out the secant square. So secant square is gonna give you r over x. So it'll be 5 over 3. So it'll be 25 over 9. 25 over 9. So 25 over 9, 1 over 15. So 1 over 15. 25 over 9, 9 over 25. So that's equal to 5. It's 3 over 125, I think. The answer is B.
Yeah.
Okay. Questions?
$38.
38. Vertical asymptote, that's easy. Yeah, Max. Whoa, what happened here? It's really slow. To add a highlight. What the heck is this? You know what, let me stop sharing. Let me do that here. Question 38. Oh, let me do here. 38. Hold on. 38. I haven't get there yet. The computer's super slow. 38. Yeah, that's the same question as before. That's actually a pretty cool question. What would you do? Can you see my screen or no?
No.
Okay, so let me see, what would you do here? Screen sharing, zoom, screen sharing. Okay, whiteboard share. Okay, so what would you do with this question 38?
Would you just plug in 3 and then solve for K?
Pretty much. And you had to do it in term using calculator, which is in calculator part, they really want you to be able to look for zeros. So try it again, see if you got it. Lower caret. Laura Cara says, do I get pizza? What should I answer him?
No.
Trent says no. We can take a vote. We got what, 6 people left?
Nah.
You gotta show us true identity first.
You had to show
Yeah.
us who's your true identity.
We need evidence.
We need evidence. He's asking for pizza, so he has to be in the school. There's no reason I'm gonna send pizza all the way to California. Did you guys got it?
Yeah.
You got it, right? So
Oh, I don't know if it's right.
what'd you answer?
I got A.
Plug in the decimals. See, that's the best thing. A lot of people don't know decimals. I don't know if you guys saw the link I sent. Yesterday I saw like somebody is very cool on decimals. He built a neural link, a neural network on the decimals and using HTML, which is crazy. The guy basically like, I don't know, it's the biggest brain I ever seen on the and he's only taking calculus 1 right now. And that guy is truly genius. I saw one of the video of him. He built a virtual machine, and got a scammer from India. So he built a machine to trap the scammer, and then he got into scammer's computer, delete all the information from scammer's computer. The guy is crazy. Okay, does anybody need help with these questions? Niala, do you need help with these questions? Tynese? Tynese, do you need help with this question?
I think I'm good.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Basically, just plug in 3 and set equation equal to 0 and find the x-intercept. Is the answer A, Priya?
That's what I got, but I don't know if it's right. I'm still checking.
Well, lower caret says A. I don't know if it's true.
$39.
39, I just passed it. Okay, let me go back. Trent, every question you miss is always something to continuous. Wait.
And Tran, we did this one already when we were going it over.
We did?
We did?
Yeah, we did. No. It was when Tran and I were going over questions. We did something just like this.
Okay.
This is probably something to do with intermediate value theorem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just by looking at it, it's probably something to do with intermediate value.
Wait, wouldn't derivative count too? Like the mean value one?
No.
Wait, how do you know when is which?
Well, you see that they say f have most 1, 0. That's not possible. So it's not 8, right? Because it could have 1, 0, could be have 2, 0, could be 3, 0, could be an infinite amount of zeros. Because basically from each coordinate to next coordinate, a lot of things can happen. The f has a relative maximum at 2. That doesn't make sense because that's endpoint, cannot be relative. In order to be relative, that derivative has to equal to 0. And we don't have any value after that, so we don't know that's maximum. C, they say it must go through 4. From -5 to 2, such f of c is equal to 4. Oh, do they say it's continuous? Hold on a second. The table give you a value continuous function. It says continuous. So from -5 to 2, f of c is equal to 4. There is a system value c. Wait, why is it c and d? Oh, yeah, only in c, not d. Because d is a derivative. It does not apply to derivative. Intermediate value theorem does not apply to derivative. Only apply to original functions. So C is the best choice.
But can you like technically like do like 5 minus -9 and then?
Yeah, it's possible to have f prime of c is equal to 2, but it's not always true. So in order to be always true, only to disprove that always true, then all you gotta do is provide anything that is it's not you know, you only need to disprove with a little bit of logic. So f prime of c could be possible true, is equal to 2, but it's not always true. So in order to test this type of question, it has to be always true. It doesn't matter what kind of situation. So what always true is when from -1 to 1 to 5, it must go to 4 if the function is continuous. Now, if Latinasa is continuous, that doesn't have to be true. So you can argue D is possible true, but that's not what they want. They want must be true. Must be true, that means you had to come up scenario that disprove everything else. Other questions? Priya, do you have other questions?
I got 38 wrong, but I don't remember what it was. It's probably something silly.
38 is that K problem.
That's that one. Oh yeah, we already went over that. I think we went over most of them.
We went over most of them. Yeah, for me, I'm not worried about all the people right now in this room. For passing, for sure. You know, to get a 5, you know, I'm not worried about Franco, I'm not worried about Priya, I'm not worried about Trent. Chinese could be, I think it's between 4 and 5. And Bobby Bacardi, then I don't know where you are right now because I haven't seen a lot of work done. So I mean, you've done a lot of work recently, but I haven't seen before. So we want to see. I mean, but again, right now at this moment, just relax, take the test. I mean, it's not it's you know, just take a day off tomorrow and just kind of go through the concept. Tomorrow we're gonna meet at second period, right? Tomorrow is second period day, right? For 100 minutes.
I'm not completely sure. I'll try checking if there's a schedule on campus.
I think it's 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure, but any of the other people want to come in at that time, we can go over all the concept. So what we're just gonna do is we're just gonna talk about all the concept and all the questions could be involved. So I think you guys are ready. I'm not worried about Trent and Priya and Franco. Like to get a 5. For other people, I don't know where you are. I think Chinese, Neola, they are pretty close. Between low 4 to high 4 to even low 5. So I don't know where they are exactly. Because it's really hard for me to judge where you guys at. But right now, just you can just review the concept, review the questions, go back and look at all the questions you've done earlier. What about me? Laura Carrots asked me, what about me? Okay, Laura Carrot, I'll give you a question. I know. Let me know where you are. Laura Carrot, let me give him the questions.
Tomorrow we're in second period for an hour and 40 minutes. So yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna show you guys a core question about a calculated question, and let me see if you guys can get it right. So so let me show you this question here. So this is a grade book questions. Exam, I think it's 5 or 6. I'm not sure. I think I might have given this question already. Actually, this is a good question.
But Mr. What do you said you're gonna go over in class tomorrow?
I'm just gonna go to talk about all the concept. I don't really want people to do a lot of question, especially FRQ is very mentally draining when you're doing something that's very frustrating. I think it was my mistake to give out 2019. I think that test was kind of too hard for FRQ, and I maybe discouraged you a little bit, but I think you guys are way over that. So yeah, we're just gonna go through concepts. We're not gonna go through anything that I mean, if you guys have a question to ask, you're more welcome to ask. So this is a question to ask everybody here, which is fundamental theorem calculus, and this is question 45 on the thing. So see if you guys can do this. Oh. Yeah. What'd you guys get?
I got 8.
Yes, same.
Let's see what adds up at says.
You got 8? Bath, what'd you get?
Adds up at says me.
Beth had to leave.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think you got 8. Okay, so good. E is good. But this is not a question I want to show you guys, because I meant to show you this guys, that one. That A is good. Now this is a question that I don't think they will ever show, but it's actually pretty interesting that if you understand the logic of it, it helps a lot.
Adds up at says maybe.
What? Okay, so this is question 44. It's a pretty interesting question. what it says.
How's it bad?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay, Laura Carrot, this is a question for you. Oh. Okay. What are you doing? What are you doing? If you got an answer, just text in the group chat. So I'll check the group chat. Don't say the answer.
I think it's A. I think it's A.
Chen and Priya, did you guys got it?
I'm almost done solving it. I think I'm getting it.
Okay, put it on the group chat and let me know what you got.
Okay.
Chen, you got it?
No.
As the bat says. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Chen, still no? Franco, you got it?
I'm not sure, but I'm trying right now.
Okay. Yeah, don't say the answer until just text it to me. Nobody got it?
I got 1.13, but it's not an answer choice.
Laura Carey, you got an answer? Nobody got an answer? China, what you get?
I didn't get an answer yet.
Priya? Still no? Priya, still no?
Yeah, I'm doing it many different ways. I don't get it.
Franco?
Alabat did say no.
No, I haven't gotten one yet.
Okay.
Alabat said no.
Yeah, so this is the question that is really it's very easy for me to see a student now this is probably a high five question. It's a student who can earn like a high five. I mean, all you guys can earn a 5, but to earn a high 5 you can see these questions. And the problem of seeing this question is you have to truly understand what I mean by everything. So it's required using calculator because it's decimals. But it seems like calculator doesn't help you. But it does. So and here's a might be some of the things that you guys will hitting a threshold is mathematically speaking that you will hit a blockade at a certain moment because it really emphasizes on the work. But for me, like you know, to be extraordinary math students is you had to be able to emphasize on thinking. So thinking outweighs the work, and the what is going to hinder you guys in the future. You got to learn how to think in the sorts of ways that where it's a lot of things. So I was very impressed because I saw this video yesterday. It's about this guy who's taking Calc 1 with you guys, and basically just look at the x minus x sine of x graph, and he found so many things just by looking at, because he's taking calculus right now. I don't know if he's a high school student. So I want to show you a clip of him that he's able to come up with this stuff that is truly amazing. So this is a clip of him, and I do wish that he got more subscriber. Surprisingly, he only have a 470 subscriber. And when I told Sadat that I have more subscriber than him, and Sadat's like, you totally don't deserve 1,000 subscriber because this guy truly earned like, it should earn like 1 million subscriber really easily. So here's the video done by this guy. This video is really interesting. It's only have 1,200 views.
One of the great challenges in this world is knowing enough about a subject to think you're right.
Hold on. You guys still can try to figure out. I'm not trying to tell you the answer. So this is a video of him.
Okay, so what is this and how does it work? Before we can cover that, let's go back in time a bit. Enter October 14th. I was sitting in calculus doing derivatives work and I got this problem. Nothing too out of the ordinary.
So this is just a simple product rules. And
Right.
so he's
I
probably
took
in
the
the calculus
derivative
one.
of it and decided to graph it just to see what it would look like. For some reason, I decided to zoom out of the graph. Slowly, my screen filled with red, but then something peculiar happened. Just for 1 second, my graph looked almost like it hadn't zoomed out at all. It still behaved strangely, but it looked completely normal. Even weirder was that you could get into this weird state just by adjusting the size of the graphing window. Not only that, but sometimes if you move the graph, it would actually become animated. That was beyond strange, but I already had a basic intuition of how something like this may come about. Let's look at this visually. When you think of how a graphing calculator would work, you think of inputting every number within a viewing range into a function, then plotting every output as a continuous function. This is in theory how graphing calculators work, but not necessarily in practice. Realistically, graphing calculators don't have enough time to plug in an infinite number of values into a function, so they cut corners and only plug in numbers over a reasonable interval. This interval could be anything, but usually it would make the most sense for it to correspond with something like the number of pixels on a screen. For example, if we had a 10-pixel graphing calculator, we would only get the value of a function 10 times to graph it. This method works perfectly for 99% of cases, but there are a few fringe cases that can trick the calculator into incorrectly displaying a function. Remember that our calculator only takes a measurement every pixel. This means that it doesn't care what we do in between each measurement. For example, if we were to have a sine wave that repeats at exactly every pixel, it would just be graphed as a straight line. This is cool and all, but our graph isn't a straight line, so how does that work? Well, watch what happens when we change the period slightly of our sine wave. I just want to pause for a second to really give you an intuition of what's going on here. If we look at each pixel individually, you can see that the sine wave almost looks the same. Just as we move from pixel to pixel, the sine wave shifts slightly to the side. This is because the pixel width and the period of the sine wave are slightly offset, meaning that for every pixel, the sine wave shifts slightly by this offset, creating the illusion of animation. This animation is what we see on a larger scale being applied to create a larger graph. Okay, so now we know how to get the illusion of a regular function, but that still doesn't explain why the graph becomes animated whenever we move the screen. While this is more speculative, I do believe it's due to a similar effect, where there's a slight discrepancy between the conversion of pixels from moving our mouse and units offset by the graph, causing the graph to appear at a very close but slightly different position as you move it around. Great, so we've established how the effect works in this scenario, but can we generalize it to more? Yes, we can. All we need is a function that has a matching period to the screen width and that has each frame of animation stored within it. To create something like this, we can set up a function of x and k, with k representing time. Then all we have to do is input x for x and x times the sample rate mod 1 for k, with the sample rate being the scaling factor to align the period of our graph with the pixels on screen. So that's it. It works, right? Well, only kind of. It works for me, but not for hardly anyone else, because everyone has different screen sizes and different browsers or computers that would render the screen slightly differently. Remember that being even a pixel off can completely break the illusion. To fix this, I set out on a long and painful quest to find the correct scale to line up with our sample rate for every window resolution. We're pretty much done now. If you type this into your URL bar, the width of the graph will be adjusted for your screen size. Before I end, I want to add a side note that if the units moved for dragging your mouse and the units of the graph are synced perfectly, it won't appear animated, but you can fix this by changing your screen size and rerunning the script. That's all for now. I'll link the graph in the description if you want.
Did you guys get an answer yet?
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help. This sentence is grammatically correct, but it's wordy and hard to read. It undermines the writer's message.
Did you guys get an answer yet? Franco? Tran? Are you guys still here?
Yeah, but I still haven't figured it out yet.
Okay, so this whole question is the thing. The reason why I show you that video is this guy is just kind of amazing. It's because he's 1,000 times more smarter than what I can show you. So what happened is the a lot of time you should think of the question without calculator. Even though that's the calculated question, you should think without calculator. So the answer is 1.5. The answer is B. Okay, so this is what I have observed throughout the year is the student who can actually learn to think about without writing anything down. They usually have very bad grade, but like Connor, like Isa, like a lot of people that they usually have very bad grade in class, but a lot of them they can think without the paper and pencil. So a lot of time like trying to think about without paper and pencil, how would you do this problem without paper and pencil? And so this question is it's built differently. It's why this question is really decide like well, I can tell if a person will actually earn a 5, like a high 5, like we're talking about more than 100%, out of 100 out of 108, is because they can think differently. They can think of things. So learn how to do things without paper and pencil. It's gonna be a very crucial things for a lot of you guys. Try to think things throughout. So the video I show you, this kid's learning calculus, and obviously he's just doing simple product rule, and he able to come up this whole theories behind everything, and he really think throughout everything. Without paper and pencil, he can think through all those things, and he can translate it. Okay, so what you have to do is learning how to think about without it. I'm going to show you the thinking to think without it. Is to visualize the things happen. that inside your head. Now, I don't know if I can ever teach you guys, but I'm gonna try. So here's yeah, later. Hold on a second. So here's a question that you gotta think about. Can you guys remember what the question says? Integration of 0 to 1,000, right?
1,000 of 8 to the x,
Right.
dx minus integration from a to 1,000.
Is it equal to what?
10.4.
Oh, this subtracting this is equal to 10.4, right? So a lot of thing is it's like I say, it's illusion. So, but you just have to understand the conceptually thinking. So in order to bring out the best of you guys is to able to visualize a lot of things instead of do a lot of work. So remember, Priya, I've been saying this to you since 2 years ago, right? You show a lot of work, but that's actually hindering you a lot more than helping you. For you, you are a terrific student. Trent, terrific student. Franco, terrific student. Now, the things about for you guys to move to the next thing is to think about next things, which is visualize something happening. Okay, visualize things that inside your head without paper and pencil. So that takes a lot of training. I should train you guys a lot earlier than today. So without paper and pencil, that I was thinking about, obviously you guys probably try this in the calculator and probably come out a very extraordinary number that probably the computer does not define, right? Did you actually type in this in the calculator? Did anyone type in this in the calculator?
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
It said overflow.
Yeah. But what you need to see is this. So what you need to see before you even waste that time, you need to visualize things happen. Think about 8 to the 1 power, 8 to the 2 power, 8 to the 3 power, 8 to the 1,000 power. You think about how big that value is. So you should, before you even doing anything, this one should already know that you should understand calculator cannot calculate this at all whatsoever. The calculator does not do anything for you in these questions. It does, but it doesn't. Okay? But just imagine that if I just have maybe like 2x plus 1, right? And instead of ax, so it's 2x plus 1 instead of ax. So what would you do? Well, basically just means all the way to 1,000, this area is going to be from 1,000, right? And it's 2x minus 1, that's evaluable. But then let's think about it. They subtract from 8 to 1,000. So 8 to 1,000. So what do you have to do? So what do you have to do?
So integration of 0 to a would equal 10.4.
Exactly. So what I'm trying to help you guys is to, you guys are very good math student, but you guys need to be excellent is to be able to visualize things happen. And this is visualize things happen. And that's that one person that he can visualize things happen. And he's young, like what anything I can do. Like within 1 minute, he can already think like 1,000 steps ahead of me. So that guy is basically a genius of a genius. I think he's smarter than 3 Brew 1 Brown. At a high school, at a college level, he's already smarter than, because I see some other videos way more amazing than that. So the whole idea is try to visualize things inside your head before you're doing the math part. The math part is important, right? A math part is important. Now you can see a lot of good math students, they don't show a lot of work. And people like Connor's work, they are able to do that. And you do look at Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking is he can't even write things down, but he's the greatest physicist in the world. So you have to visualize things happen inside your head and try to do that. And for you guys, it's gonna take a while to training that part, but I promise you that's gonna be your greatest asset in the future. Is to see what would happen inside your head before you start doing it. So it's like a plan things out before you're doing things. Like people, in order to write a great essay, kind of plan things out inside your head. And then you don't just start writing, you plan things out or you scratch down stuff and then you plan the writing part. So a mathematical process is going to be the same way throughout. Does that make sense? So this question could be done in very, very efficient way if you're learning how to switch your mindset to visualize what is this question is really asking me. So if you learn how to do that, you become excellent every single time. And this is a question that I usually ask the highest tier group, and I'll ask them, see if they can accomplish that. So a lot of people can see this very, very easily because they visualize things. But if you try to plug in the calculator, the first thing you have to see is 8 to the x is a very big power. Even 2 to the 64 power is such a big number that if it's in terms of asset, in terms of grain of rice, it's gonna be the global GDP of rice productions. So that is how crazy 2 to the 64 power already. Now 8 to the 100 power is gonna be something calculator cannot support. So those are things that you guys can learn to visualize things, to see, to kind of visualize plan step in your head before you're moving to the process. Because as soon as you jump in, you lose a lot of time. But as soon as you see, okay, what is the question trying to ask me? Okay, what are the questions that are trying to ask me? Are they trying to ask me from 0 to 1,000 or 8 to 1,000? And how is the 10.4 coming? So basically, just plug in all the number into A and wait until the number get to 10.4. So it will take a much shorter time to do this problem. Okay, and then by any means, you guys need to just, can you be there? Yeah, of course, all you guys can, but you guys start to think in a lazier way. You guys are such a good effort, but you guys also think of in terms lazier way, and that's how you become better. So each student, there's always something to learn from. So if I look at Connor, I learned a lot of things from Connor. Connor's very efficient. And anybody know Connor here? Priya, do you know Connor?
Yeah, I knew him from Quizball and Science Olympiad.
Oh yeah, so you see how his brain functions, right?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, his brain is just think about different things. He see what the question is, and he see how things come in. And so those are the process you guys can become, like from point A to point Z, and the Connor have things to learn from you. So don't feel bad about yourself. No, Connor, if Connor will work like any of you guys work in like 10% of what you guys work, Connor is gonna be super Connor. It's gonna be like, it's like super amazing person. But Connor doesn't want to do 10% what you guys put in. So you guys have the talent that Connor doesn't have. Now you guys need to learn what talent does Connor have that you don't have. And that's what make you a bit better, even better than what you have today. By all means, you solve this question or not solving question, you guys are gonna do great on this AP exam. But it's just by thinking differently, I challenge you to think differently every single day. And that's how you're gonna become excellence. But I'll stop talking. I think you guys kind of get tired of what I say. Laura Carrot, you got it wrong. But nice try. I'll see you next time. See you tomorrow.
Bye, mister.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good day.
You too.